From Maikita to Maaike. Let me tell you a story and why this is huge. Women out there, this is huge. Why is living a meaningful life important? Let me ask you again. Why is living a meaningful life important? Have you ever asked yourself this question? Well, since we are born, we make sense of life through meaning. And when life does not make sense, then there's no meaning. And that is when we get ourselves in trouble. Maybe a toddler gets himself in trouble because it does not make sense of things and they want to ask for attention. Or maybe a crazy cat as well. So we're always searching for meaning. And as we grow, we constantly try to find meaning out of life. And when we cannot find it, it causes, yes, you guessed it, pain. How many of you are feeling pain these days? Then, when we have pain, we try to do things to fit in or to release that pain. And when we try to fit in and we live under expectations of others, what happens? We lose ourselves. And then we grasp onto others to find our own identity. Yes. True story. Let me tell you a true story about me. Something I never shared before, just except for my family. So when I was a little girl, I was called Maikita, and that means little Maaike. Yes, I was called after my mother's name, whose name is Maaike. And let me tell you something. It was very, very difficult to fit in those shoes. I was never able to fit in those shoes and those expectations. Unconsciously, I was always looking for my own identity. I was a little quiet girl. So when I approached the time that I wanted to go to high school, all through my years of elementary and middle school, I went to the same school. And I thought to myself, what can I do in order to drop the ita from my name? I didn't want to be little Maaike anymore. And the only way that I figured out to change that and drop that part of my name and become me was to change schools. So that was the decision I made. And I figured out that that was the only way that I could go to a different environment where nobody knew who I was and how I acted. And it served me for a little bit. I was able to change my name and finally have people call me Maaike, no longer Maikita. But still, all through these years, I've been still looking for some meaning, and I've been always looking for more joy in life. See, I was kind of the flat person. Yes, I had fun, and sometimes I got some drinks and over the years, and yes, I've had fun. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, there was a little voice inside me saying, I'm not really happy. So I discovered that through personal development and through different courses that I've been taking, I've discovered the really meaning sense of living in purpose and making sense out of things that really mean a lot to me. We live life doing things by quotidianity, like every mundane things, right? It's like we grew up, we become a mother, we grow up our children, and we forget to really appreciate the things. But that isn't a topic for another day. I have learned that to let go of stories that did not belong to me anymore. I did not know that my broken record or the stories that I was telling myself were, some of them were not mine. And I was able to figure out what those were and let go of those. In doing that, I became less anxious, less stressed, and more joyful. So, like many of you, just trying to live with those broken record stories that we have, that just confuses the mind, and we feel unloved and unresolved. And that just leads to self-destruction, things that we're trying to do just to ease the pain and to ease that damage. And that is self-damaging. We become creatures of habit, and we have habits that are self-destructive. So we feel stressed, we feel anxious, we feel depressed, and that is caused by living under others' expectations. So I'm going to tell you a story before I let you go about loving yourself. This is the only foundation to help you feel that you live in wholeness, in total health and total joy. So it's important to really learn how to fall in love with you. If I were to ask you, if you see yourself in the mirror, is it easy for you to say, I love you? Like, I go to the mirror now and I'm proud to say, Maaike, I love you. And that took a train. That took a very long time for me to be able to do that. But what led me to that was the only way that I found is to be able to tell the truth. The truth of who you are and what you're facing in a safe environment. So that is the key for freedom, my friends. When you're able to share your story in front of a group and you feel heard and nobody's judging you and you feel safe and loved, that is the only way that I have found to release that pain and that lack of meaning and to turn it into something bigger, magical. Because when that happened to me, that turned my life around. This is why I'm talking to you today. Thanks to that supportive group that I had when I was feeling pain, I am able to tell this story to you today. So I want that same thing for you. I want for you to have a safe environment to tell your story, to figure out what is your own self-truth, so that you can express yourself with kindness and change your habits and your behaviors from being self-destructive to self-creating, self-becoming, self-loving. That is what I want to offer to you. So I felt so much love and empowerment of learning who I am that I want to take back to you or give back that to you. So what happened to me? Instead of sneaking into the pantry to eating more sweets or hiding behind alcohol, or as many I've heard from you, also hiding and sneaking and being in secrecy with drugs, only to try to feel a little bit more joy into life and try to ease that pain, let me tell you that there are much more simpler, safer, and healthier ways of changing those bad behaviors into better habits. So addictions, unhappiness, sickness, all of those come in place from one place and only one place only. And that is, maybe you're guessing it right. What do you think it is? Is lack of love. Yes. So lack of love is what takes us to so much unhappiness. So I created a coaching group. I want to help you with this container, this self container, so that you can express yourself. This is the fastest way to move on in life and move from feeling stuck to feeling unstuck. So before I let you go, I want to tell you a little other secret of mine. I'm about to turn 55 this year, and I work my ass off every single day to make sure that I am becoming the best version of me. I do all the things that I do are because I want to be in a healthy state, a strong-minded state, that when my grandchildren come around, I will be able to be there for them. And not only for them and tell them the good stories that I have learned or the bad or sad stories that I have learned and how I have become who I am, but also be wanting to be of support for my own children, which I live my entire life for. I really appreciate them so much, and I know how many of you live for your children, but at the same time, you're feeling so much pain and you do not know where to go. I live my life to leave a legacy behind me of health and wellness, and I want to extend that invitation unto you. I want to carry that unto you, and I want you to become the best version of you. You heard me right. The best version of you. So many people overcomplicate life, and on the other hand, I want to simplify life. The simpler it gets, the more joy I bring, and the more joy people around me also feel. So life is too short already, and it's too complicated. So let's make it easier for you. If you are listening to this and you're hearing this, that you're trying to find more meaning to your life, you're struggling with aches and pains in your body, you're feeling sleepless nights, just worrying and worrying and worrying and having no way out. You have tried different things and nothing is working. You're feeling anxious and depression. Well, who has not with COVID this past 2 years? I'm pretty sure that you have felt some of these things. So I want you to get off your unhealthy habits and behaviors and turn them into very beautiful, healthy habits that you can revolve and share with your grandkids all along. So this is an 8-week coaching program that I created only for you. And I only have space for 8 people because I want to make it a very unique space for you in order for you to be able to feel the support that you need to change your life for good. So I want to leave you with 3 things today. Everything or every day, do at least one thing that you enjoy and appreciate yourself for doing it. You are worth it. Number 2, I want you to notice if you are doing things to fulfill other people's needs or are you doing things to fulfill your own. Just be curious. And third, I want you to surround yourself with more people that love you and that support you. And one most important thing, that listen to what you have to say, because let me tell you, it matters. Whatever you have to say, it matters. There is no right or wrong. You matter and your story matters, and you deserve to be the best version of yourself. So I gotta go. Be healthy and smile and be blessed because you're alive and you deserve to be the best version of yourself. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot. I'm gonna drop a link below with all the details of my coaching program. Yes, very important. So thank you for a little bell just ring on my head. So if you want to join my group, I have a link down below and you can check out all the details. Check it out, see if this is for you, and Do not stop signing in. I will wait for you on the other side. Thank you so much. Bye bye.